Today we're going to look at the plowme.com on-demand and scheduled snow plowing service. The page loads pretty attractive, pretty quick. We look at the domain is the first place we're going to check. Running in HTTPS over a secure socket layer, which is great. The domain name plowme.com, very straightforward. The only issue I could ever see is it being confused with plow.me, which is a domain extension that's growing a little bit more in popularity. There's actually nothing running currently at the site, so it might make sense for the plowme.com people to take over that domain as well, and maybe start redirecting from the .com to the .me domain, which would be a little bit shorter of a URL. The www could probably be dropped off as well, but since it's running on HTTPS, they might not have a wildcard certificate, which is probably why they're running a www. Anyway, very small, not really impacting any of the onboarding or user conversion experience, but from a broader marketing SEO standpoint, in simplicity, it might make sense to try and migrate to something a little bit shorter. So anyway, looking at the page itself, we're going to come down into the content area, and like I said, very clean design, very simple. A couple issues I'm seeing already is the above the fold content is really at the bottom of the available screen window here. So on the page load, we see some of the content cut off. We might be able to tighten it up a little bit. I think you could get about 25 pixels here at the top. This spacing's nice here, and maybe tighten up this area a little bit. The conversion form, which begins the user sign-up process, is nice and simple. We'll get to it in a minute. It has some places where it could be optimized a little bit better. The main tagline is pretty clear and straightforward. Going through the site previously, I noticed that the text overall, while pretty straightforward, could use some simplification and some time spent on rewording things. For instance, add your home as the first bullet point here, trying to convert the user, doesn't really say much about the service or what this site is doing, and connect additional homes such as a parent or tenant. Connecting additional homes, first part of this sentence, is really confusing to me until I get to the second part, such as a parent or tenant. Then I make the connection that, oh, I could have multiple properties, or I could hire this service for someone else. The parent aspect is actually really good because I know a lot of children are concerned about their parents getting older and being able to shovel the driveway. Again, going through the communicate, I would add a little bit. It doesn't have to be a single word. I think communicate with drivers, communicate with companies, or communicate with providers. Just communicate doesn't, I understand wanting to be brief here, but it really doesn't convey enough. Leave messages for your snow contractor. That I think that sense could have a little bit more impact. Set and forget. That's great. I think this is good. It doesn't really need to be touched too much. Easy and secure payments. In this day and age, I don't think users are too concerned with the security. They are concerned about the security of the payments, but now they automatically assume that it's going to be taken care of. So I'm not sure if this is boosting your conversion any more. So before we start the conversion process, we're going to scroll down, and we see that they've actually gotten some great coverage here. Like I said, it seems like a no-brainer service that people could definitely use, especially in the Northeast with the winter we had last year. I could really see people wanting to take advantage of this. The press or the user reviews here, I think, are great. These dangling quotes are a little bit confusing from a design standpoint. I think it would actually be a little bit more consistent with other website design if we actually showed the quotes actually being around the statements and then having the author of them below rather than having these dangling quotes as designs. And I think we could kind of tighten this area up a little bit more. But it's fine. Going down a little bit further, are you a snow contractor, earn more fast? Or what I see being an issue of this for this website is definitely a chicken and egg issue. You need contractors in order to fulfill service, but you need the demand of the users in order to get contractors. So the conversion aspects of the site definitely need to be at least 50-50, possibly even weighted heavier towards a contractor in the beginning. So I think this section could be built out a little bit more. Doesn't have to be nearly as much as this. Definitely take them into a different flow. But plow with us would indicate a person ready to make the conversion. I think learn more about plowing with us might be a little bit less abrupt rather than having the contractor click through. That's just a small nitpicking. I don't think it's going to be a major impact on the conversion um, aspect, but we're trying to get contractors. So I think this might need to be built up with 1 or 2 bullet points and then learn how to plow with us or start plowing with us. Might make a little bit more sense, but plow with us is fine. And then we have another quote section down here. This is from the CEO. It's great to have a CEO statement. Having it down here after we already have this quote section up here might not be perfect. Looking at the site design overall, it could be a template. It could be an extremely well done and executed template, but it could still be a template site. And it may have had this by default, but I don't see how it's completely vital to the functionality of the website. In fact, maybe getting rid of this section here and putting the nav menu in this black bar area with white text might make more sense, because the footer is a little disjointed with these navigation options as well as the contact us information. Again, we see contact us information, which is great. The email us, I always love to see a direct mail to, which launches the mail client. I think that's a great way to get users to start converting and using the service. So that's great. Phone numbers duplicated down here. Not that that's a major issue. I imagine that the phone number is persisting on all the internal pages, so that's fine. Nothing really to improve on down here. The one issue with the wording throughout the site, contractors are going to be the plowing providers. You want to get your naming convention consistent for whatever you're calling them, either providers or contractors or plowers or whatever, and just have it apply consistently throughout the site. Again, small nitpicking. The real issue I see here is the sign me up conversion bar. This is where we're really going to get the meat of our boost here. Zip code should obviously be ZIP space capital CODE, maybe even a colon there. Sign me up isn't really the best conversion text, I think, for this type of service. It seems like a really big commitment, or for the user aspect, it seems like, all right, I'm already signing up for service without getting any more information. So this might be to a little bit better if it's a little bit less upfront to the user as far as you're committing to signing up now. So a major aspect of this conversion code we'll see in the next step, but the zip code should not be pre-populated with any one zip code here, especially that the text is pretty dark. If we're going to do placeholder text, it should be a much lighter gray. This makes me think I have to go in and erase the text. It's not the most usable. In fact, you could get rid of the zip code here and have it as a placeholder, light gray text, ZIP space CODE. People are familiar with that. The major thing that's missing from this conversion form is an email field, and we'll see why in the next step. So I'm putting in our Philadelphia address. We go to the next step, and we don't have plowers in your area yet. And so the service is growing, it's new, we understand that. I wouldn't dump someone to this page to create your account. I don't think anyone's going to complete this process. You're going to have a huge drop off from people checking if it's available in the area to this page to actually converting a user. I would have gone back to this page, had an email form, or had an email text field in addition to the zip code. So when we do inform the user that it's not available there yet, we'll be able to email them when it's ready. So you're building a subscriber list, you're building the demand side in your database, and as you expand other areas of service, you'll be able to inform those users, because they're never going to come back to this website and check it on their own. It's going to be something that they're going to need to be informed of by push notification, which is something that the PlowMe website should be doing. Which brings us to the other side of the aspect, the contractor setup. Again, we touched on the chicken and the egg issue of having plow providers versus getting customers in the door. I think it's going to be pretty easy with some small changes to convert users into customers into users of the service, but getting plow operators to come and convert as users is going to be a little bit more difficult. I think you need to go about it in a different way. One way I would do it is to either buy a database list of plow providers, or manually scrape lists, or have hire someone to do data entry to go out and actually find plow providers in these areas that you're getting demand for, and saying, hey, we have someone that's interested in signing up for plow services this winter. Check out this great site to help manage your relationship with this customer. Click here to sign up. from a customer standpoint, it'd be great if you actually displayed some of the plow providers in the area um, while you're still attempting to onboard the provider. So definitely a data mining problem, in my opinion, for the contractor signup. Um, Not saying that I just don't see plow providers spending a lot of time online looking for leads. So them coming to the Plow Me website to sign up, I don't think is going to be your best way of going about it. I think you're going to have to reach out manually to them, like I said, through data mining, getting as many zip codes as possible. I would watch the user conversion zip codes, the zip codes that people are entering here. I enter 19106. There's no providers here. There's no providers in my area, but now you have in your database that there's demand in this area. So what you're going to do, you're going to send your data entry person to find plow providers in this area, make a list, get the email contact information, come up with a template email, send out. We have someone waiting for plow services in your area. Would you be interested in signing up for the Plow Me contractor aspect of the service? So hopping over to the contractor sign up for early access makes it seem that the site's not online or ready yet. So I would change the wording there to something a little bit more positive, letting people know that they could actually jump in and start using the site, even if it's not entirely ready. It's still, I think this is really hurting the conversion process. What is your email? Not really the correct wording for something here, and especially with a pre-filled placeholder email text. Most people are familiar with your name at youremail.com or some other placeholder text like this, but when it's actually a valid email address, which looks like it could actually be someone else's email address, it might be a little bit troublesome for your conversion process here. So maybe even remove this label text and put it as a placeholder in light gray text, and definitely change it from something other than what is your email address. Like, let's get started. Possibly even have the same conversion fields as the user signup, which would be the email address and the zip code, because then that's going to put you in the exact service area for the person. These bullet points are actually great. These I don't think you need to change these at all. There is a little design issue on the forms itself. The highlighted pink isn't really consistent. I would change the highlight color to something a little less in your face. The green, I can see the green working well with this blue-gray background, but it's more of a mint, so you might want to just play with the tone of that. Continues fine. Down here we scroll into the bullet points for trying to convert the plow providers. These are great. I think there's a few too many of them. It would be nice if we could get them all in one window here. So if we went from 8, or it looks like there's 10 entries here, maybe to 8, where we could keep them all on one page, possibly even 6. I could see things like top-level security. That's really not something that's going to get me to convert. Insurance, this is great. Mobile, this is great. I would change the wording from just mobile to something a little bit longer, like use this on mobile, or site mobile enabled, or we've got you covered. Insurance hyphen we got you covered. Legal ready. That's fine. That's important. Work log. This is important. This is important. Beautiful dashboard. Possibly helps conversions, but transparency. I don't think this is really something that people are going to be worried about. So again, just simplifying this as much as possible is going to help your conversions. Facts. This is great. I didn't see any problems here. This is a little bit large of an area for just to have facts. I would put FAQ hyphen frequently asked questions across the top. I mean, most people know what facts means now, but might not actually be for everyone, especially older people who might be using the service because they can't shovel their driveway anymore. 2013, just the tiniest issue there. You could actually use JavaScript to update this based on the year every time if you like. This is great. Looks like they're have some accreditations, which is useful to know as someone looking to use the service. Other than that, I think it's great. I think it's a great service, definitely worthwhile. For the user conversion and optimization and onboarding, I think with a few small changes, especially with the conversion forms, actually getting the zip codes and cleaning up some of the text on both the contractor and the consumer side, I think you really could boost your conversions a considerable amount. Hope you enjoyed it. Good luck.